there's another thing I wanted to add to the video. Pretty much, I just wanted to be part of this community, like just looking at my history, just my background, just like been just since 1993, been providing community service through serving in the student service to my communities and my school and all of that, just like how much more does it take for a person just to be part of the community, to live together and sharing? It's like, do you have to be, what's the criteria to just have that civil right, that equality, what it takes for a person just to have that? Anyway, like, it's like my family is the victim of the 1975 to 1978 war, and they have all this inferior status, immigrant status, such as immigrant status, English as second language status, low income family status. So growing up, it's like living in family that is victim of the war and with all this inferior status, it's already a punishment. And just all keep aiming for, just that civil right and equality that's it's been struggling very hard for. And what else do I need to do, to just have that? So like I'm saying, I think there's people out there that able to see this, that I'm in the middle of cooking my breakfast, so I have to just hurry along before like overcook the food and things like that. So like I'm saying, just what else, what it takes, it's like I've been living a life of just punishment, and what else do I need to do just to have some civil rights and equality? It's like I'm the victim, it's like I'm not the politician who could make like great speeches, can you see the difference? My family's a victim of the war, have all this inferior status. I'm not the politician who is ruling the city or the countries. Can you see the difference? Just like, how much more punishment it is to, just like I try very hard, to stop complaining that, why my family have to be the victim of war, why my family have to have all this inferior status. It's been a very tough struggle to not try to complain about these things, try to just, maybe struggle hard enough to have some equality and civil right. It's like I felt like, I show up to like a mere politician's speech of like a mayor of the city or anyone around there, that level or that league, it felt like, people can start booing me and start throwing tomato, have some, know where you came from, know that you're a victim of the war, your family is victim of the war and all this inferior status, you're not around there, just just growing up, just maybe setting a goal, maybe one day could be participate in one of these speeches, going to watch the politician making one of these speeches, just have these goals in life, try to set these goals in life. Maybe one day could be part of these participate, be join the crowd in these speeches and things like that. It's like And especially, on 2008 when I got elected as the Mesa College Multimedia Club, I felt like maybe that goal is possible for me to achieve. Maybe could one day, join the crowd and a politician's speech and things like that. It's like, so, it's like, it's been ever since growing up, maybe just remember just reading about it, like the president of the United States in textbook and things like that. I felt maybe one day could, maybe join the crowd in one of his politicians' speech and things like that. Just to set a goal in life, and maybe that is achievable. Maybe that's possible for me to able to do one day in the future and things like that. Despite being victim a family who's victim of the war and have all this inferior status, I felt that is still possible. Just as long as I struggle very hard, that could be something that I could achieve that goal. That one day I could participate in a politician's speech. It's like just being in the crowd. It's like not being there and getting boo and getting tomato people throwing tomato at me and booing me. Just like know your status, know that you are from a family of victim of the war and of all this inferior status. They're booing at me and throwing tomato at me and telling me to know my status and things like that. Not that, to able to achieve the goal on being there without having all those boo and criticism and being tossed by, tomato being tossed at me and things like that. And back on November 2001, like I felt that was the breaking point. That was the crucial moment when, all the hard journalism training that I have went through, and that was the journalism tryout. See if I got accepted in the journalism or not. On November 2001, I felt that was the crucial point. Having accepted in the journalism, I get the chance, by journalism, it's worldwide recognized journalism. It's already like an established concept that is recognized throughout the whole world. You could ask anyone, they already know what's journalism. I don't need to explain about what's journalism. So I thought that was the crucial point. It's like a worldwide recognition of journalism, and it's just like, can I get accepted in the journalism? Not so. I felt that was the very crucial point. All my hard training in the hard journalism training, and now it's the journalism tryout. And I remember saying like, if I get accepted in journalism, could get a chance to explain about what's going on in my life, through journalism, and to close this gap, that all I wanted to set that goal to one day able to participate, be in the crowd of a politician's speech and without being booed at, being tossed tomato at, and having all this criticism and, just something like that, through journalism, writing my history and background, why my family was it's like why the victim, being victim, the war have done to my family and all this inferior status and things like that. Through journalism, maybe step by step that able to one day achieve that goal and be part of a in a crowd of a politician's speech and things like that. It's like, so I thought that was the hard part. It's like, could I self help myself by being accepted in journalism? I felt that was the very crucial point. Maybe if I didn't get accepted in journalism, maybe shouldn't set that goal. Maybe set a different goal. Maybe that's too difficult for me to achieve that goal, you know. So I said that was the crucial point, but I did get accepted in the journalism. So anyway, my food, I have to finish this video to get back to my cooking. So you know, it's just a miracle. Like I've been saying, a miracle could happen to me. Someone could come upon my PTTS blog on my YouTube channel, leave me a feedback on my PTTS blog on my YouTube channel, and would save me a lot of pain and misery. Thank you for watching PTTS. Thank you for following PTTS. I'm going to end this video in 3, 2, 1.